Right then, this is a quick walk around video. This is for a Lexus CT200 hybrid, and it's the SEL version. This car's covered just 47,000 miles from new. Has the sat nav and rear camera fitted option on the car, which is really lovely. It comes with a contrasting kind of silver grey leather inside, and finished in this absolutely beautiful. I never know the manufacturer's names for these things. I call it electric blue, but it's no doubt called something else. But it looks fantastic on the car. I mean, it really is in absolutely beautiful condition, this car. You know, we're talking about a car that's now 12 years old. Front of the car, lights and lenses are clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation in them. Bonnet is exceptionally clean for a car of its age. I mean, there'll be one or two minuscule stone chips, but they are tiny indeed. Near side of the car, passenger side, absolutely mirror smooth in the panel work there. Apologies, I left the fuel flap open. I could just see it poking up, so I just shut it there. So it comes with the near side alloy. This is the one that basically takes all of the bashing generally, because it's the one closest to the curb. It's, for the age of the car, it's really clean. There is some very light curbing, but it's nice to see it's completely original from what I can see. But the panel work is, I mean, it's been washed off, not polished. It's got a really natural gleam about the car. Rear wheel, beautiful condition. Certainly for a car its age, it's stood the test of time so well in terms of the looks of the car, I think. Going on the back, again, very, very clean and tidy. And the offside, driver's side, again, absolutely beautifully smooth. No car park indentations that I can see. Offside rear alloy, again, lovely condition there. The remaining panel work, again, absolutely fantastic. Fine alloy, again, lovely condition. I mean, for a 12-year-old car, notwithstanding the kind of mileage of it, it is in lovely condition. There will be, I always say it, there will be the odd minor imperfection which you're naturally going to see, which the camera doesn't pick up on, but I think it'd be hard pressed to find one as good as that anywhere. Let's come to the back of the car. Boot area, as you'd expect of Lexus, absolutely beautifully finished. This one's no different. It's been kept wonderfully well as well. Let's come to the back of the car. It's gorgeous interior. I mean, they are family cars, so quite often they can be quite heavily used in the back. But the leatherwork on this suggests that it's hardly been used at all because it's in such lovely condition. Coming to the front, passenger side now. Into the passenger seat, again, absolutely incredible condition. Finally, driver's door card can be kept very, very well indeed. Some footwell areas. There is a full set of Lexus mats for the car, by the way. They've just been cleaned currently, but they're all in very, very nice condition. So inside the car now, engine is always running through this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated. It honestly looks like new. It just looks in such a lovely condition. Sat nav, you can see, working absolutely perfectly. Likewise, rear parking camera working as it should. They get slightly cloudy with age, but still works absolutely perfectly well. And then coming down this centre stack, just a wonderful design. It really, really is. It's been kept just so wonderfully well. And pan across to the main dashboard binnacle. Hopefully you can see 47,477 miles. And that's the dash you get when you're in eco and normal mode, by the way. And as if by magic, turning it to the sport section, setting rather, that's the dash you get in sport mode. Just a lovely feature, but this is a very, very special example, I have to say. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200, and it's the SEL version. Car is registered at RV61XKA. This car has covered just 47,447 miles. Sorry, 4,477 miles. The reason we do all of our videos, as I always say, is simply to ensure that if anyone's looking at any of our cars that we're selling, they get to see that very car advertised in operation. And the reason we feel it's important is because, like so many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or the description given, but only to get there and find out when you drive the car it's got an obvious fault that shows up as soon as you drive along. So that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire, and on an absolutely stunning morning this morning, it really is. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the hope is then that this will be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, as you'll know, no doubt from the advert, it's been very, very well looked after. Full history with the vehicle, most of which was done by Lexus. And you can feel it as soon as you drive the car, because it's just rock solid. It's just tight as a drum in every single way. Going through the car as I always do, starting with the engine and hybrid system. Press the power button, it kind of whirs silently into operation. These are what Lexus referred to as self-charging hybrids. Basically what they mean by that is that there is no range anxiety, there's no plugging in required, there's no charging up the battery. You won't come to a grinding halt with no battery. Basically, you drive, own and run the car as you would any normal petrol car. So you get low on fuel and you'll stand at a petrol pump for a couple of minutes and then you'll be on your way again. That's how easy it is to own and run them. Battery itself, relatively small. It's just there to aid the car in terms of fuel economy and torque, if you like. But when you back off the throttle and hit the brake pedal, it recharges it, so it never runs out. It can't run out in that sense. But the way it all works is what's genius about it. And it really is genius, because this is way ahead of everyone else. There's very few hybrids even today that drive as well as these do in terms of the interaction between all components. I often use the word seamless, because that's exactly how it feels when you drive the car. Nothing jars, nothing jolts. There's no kind of clunks or waiting for anything. Where I think these shine in particular is in kind of heavy traffic and city driving particularly. So when you come into a stoplight now with a conventional car with an automatic gearbox, as good as some can be, you can generally feel when the gears are changing down. And especially around now, if you want to put your foot down, quite often they can get slightly indecisive and not sure which gear to pull away in. This, because it's running obviously the hybrid, so you can pull away in possibly electric, possibly engine, possibly both. And you've got the CVT gearbox. This propulsion is completely smooth. You'll hear the engine rev pick up and then the car catches up with it. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. I've owned loads of these cars and thoroughly enjoyed each and every one I've owned. It's a brilliant system. Worth pointing out, by the way, there's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge, it doesn't have one on these, does it? Of course, there's a warning light if it comes on, but anyway, all good. You can run the car in 3 different modes. You've got a little button here, so it generally defaults into normal mode when you start the car. If I twist it to the left, I go into eco mode, so it's slightly softer throttle response. It's encouraging more battery use. I'm sure it's a perfectly valid setting. I tend not to use it. I use either normal or to press it down again, you go to normal. But if you twist to the right, suddenly a rev counter appears on the dashboard, but you can feel the throttle response is far more urgent in sport mode, and it feels more energetic in the way it goes about its business. But yeah, really nice thing to have, and nice sort of setting to have on the car. So coming to the steering and chassis, steering on the car, track's dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. I've always said, because the CT to me, it's quite an energetic car. It's got a really good front end on the car, which sounds a strange thing to say, but what I mean by that is kind of keen. It loves to change direction, so pretty much any kind of road, sort of B and A roads in particular, it absolutely loves them. It just turns in sharply. The steering's nicely weighted and really accurate, so that's really helps. So when you turn, the whole car just wants to go straight away. They're really, really nice cars to drive. The flip side is you've got a ride which is, well judged. It's comfortable in pretty much all circumstances. Only kind of really sharp ridges will catch it out, as it will any car. But I think they've struck the right compromise with it, and it's really nicely done. Incidentally, there's no rattles or clonks when you go over any bumps. There's no untoward noises coming from the car at all. Brakes on the car are really good. It's a nice solid brake pedal on the car. There's no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, so all in very, very fine order indeed. And then finally, to come inside the car, which I still maintain, and I've always struggled to kind of explain what I mean by this. This video no doubt will be no different at all. I just think it's one of those cars where you get in, they feel special. They really do. There's a genuine kind of intimacy in the way you feel when you sit in the car. So often you read the sales blurb in the brochures and they all refer to this cockpit feel, you're at one with the car. It's not garbage, you're all the same, you know. But when you get in this, you genuinely do. You feel as though you're in the car, maybe because this is slightly higher up, but the way it wraps around you, but the detailing, the labelling, and the stitching of the leather work, they've got it absolutely spot on. It is a really, really lovely interior, and as you'd expect of any Lexus, it is beautifully put together. They are superbly made cars. The materials used are of the very highest quality, and all working exactly as it should. This SEL has the sat-nav fitted, which is a really nice option to have on there with the reverse camera. There is a little button down here, by the way, so if the sun's catching it, you just press it and you can move the screen to different angles, and you can press that button there and close it down if you're not wanting to use it at any point as well. Again, which is quite nice, because sometimes you don't want a big screen up there the whole time, but you know, they took it off the later ones, goodness knows why, but there we are. Probably cost too much money. But that's all working perfectly. You've got dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you so wish, and that's pumping out absolutely ice cold air, by the way, so all working perfectly on the car. Likewise the heated seats. What videos and everything can't tell you is every button you press, every motion of every little knob you can turn, it doesn't matter what it is, it has a beautifully damped, high quality feel to it. It's a joyful thing to use and operate, actually. Then you've got this dash in front, which is small, beautifully detailed again. It imparts the information without overcomplicating things, which Lexus do very, very well, I have to say. And as I mentioned before in the Walkaround video, in eco and normal mode, I've got this eco meter on there on the left-hand side. Twist to the right, it suddenly becomes a rev counter, and you get a red backlighting, which is really lovely, especially at night. But again, just attention to detail, which Lexus do superbly well. And then you've got this lovely leather-bound steering wheel, which feels absolutely great in the hand, and like the rest of the interior is in just fantastic condition. This is a really, really lovely car, but it happens to be a really lovely example of one as well. I can't fault it in any way. It drives absolutely beautifully.